What are you guys snowboarding on?
Random stud we just found.
Nice. Hey, what's up guys? Going into Comore, meeting up with Jamie and Andreas, and we're gonna talk about Snowboard Quivers.
Oh, sorry, man, we're closed. Evan, come on in.
Thanks, man. We're here in Comore with Andreas and Jamie, and we're gonna take you guys through our Snowboard Quivers. If you're into snowboarding and you've never heard of a quiver before, it's basically just a collection of snowboards and having a snowboard for every type of riding. So whether it's trees or powder, in the park, all mountain stuff, there's sort of a snowboard for everything. So we're gonna talk to you guys about our personal quivers and then give you guys some advice for building your own. So Andreas, what does a quiver mean to you?
Well, Kevin, when I think about a quiver, I think about what boards are best going to suit each terrain, each kind of condition. Alright, so this guy here is sort of like my everyday daily driver, the Burton dump truck. This board sort of allows me to, still have that performance stability, that performance carving when I'm on hard pack. It still offers me a lot of pop and a lot of grip. But when I'm in the deeper snow, it allows me to really float around, pivot easily, get in between trees. You know, the other day I was riding this on Everglades in 7th Heaven, and it was just super easy to arc around. Overall, I just really like this thing as a daily driver because it handles all the terrain that I really every day want to tackle. So anyway, Kevin, this is the Libtech TRS. When it's not deep snow, when it's not 30 inches of powder, I'm looking at this thing for my everyday sort of play around, do a little bit of everything board. The hybrid shape on it is really what captivates me. The rocker between the feet makes it easy to initiate a turn, easy to float with, easy to go into switch. And then the cambered zones underneath the binding inserts still give me all of that stability that I want when I'm ripping at 100 miles an hour. Not that I'm always ripping at 100 miles an hour. And then it has the Magnetraction side edge. So the Magnetraction is like a steak knife. It's like, imagine a butter knife versus a steak knife. The steak knife is serrated. It holds a better edge, it cuts deeper, it's gonna give you better power when you're on ice. And this guy here, the Cool Bean, I just love this as sort of like a third option, something that I might take out when I'm just feeling a little bit funky, a little bit weird. This guy here is so awesome for playing around in the trees, for getting that surfy feel. I always tell people this board's great for the person who, maybe has done a little bit of surfing or wakeboarding in their past, and they want something that just feels really fluid and maneuverable, something that arcs around trees. Unbelievably, this thing still rides switch if you want to ride it switch, You just might sort of see a few crazed expressions when you do. Something a little bit weird.
Oh jeez. Oh, get out of here! Get out of here! These damn kids.
Anyway, the most fun part about this board is the conversations that you have with people in the lift line. People, when you get on the chair, they just see this thing and they're like, what's that? And you get to tell them, oh, this is some crazy surf shape from Japan, man. You're gonna have a wicked time on this thing.
All right, Jamie, so what's in your quiver, man?
Yeah guys, so let's check out my modest quiver setup. I've got 3.5 boards, we'll get to the half one in a sec. The first one is my Salomon 6-stick. Now this is currently my daily driver. It's a 2018 model. It's got all the creature comforts like cork sidewalls, tapered twin sort of shape to it. Very playful, fun board, great off-piste and through the park as well. If I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with my day, this is the board that I take out. My park board. Now my park board is my 2016 Ride Helix. This guy, again, urethane sidewall, so it's nice and cushy on those tough landings. Has a good flex to it. Really pressy and buttery, so you can really sort of tweak out everything you do on rails and boxes. It's got an asymmetric profile to it, so the heel side edge has a slightly deeper cut in the side of it. Just makes getting onto that heel side edge just a little bit better. Yeah, this is my park board. And then last but not least, now this one is definitely a quiver board. This is my rock board. It's a 1996 Burton Custom 59. It's pretty old. It's seen better days for sure, but that's the idea. It's cheap, cost me $20, bought it from the local thrift shop. It's for those early season days where you're not really sure if you're going to encounter uncovered rocks or logs or any kind of nasties out there. yeah, this one I can afford to core shot on day one, and I won't be too sad about it. Although I am growing more and more attached to this board because it is a bit of a heritage board. So this is my rock board.
Beauty. Cool. All right. So as you guys know, the first board in my quiver is a Solomon Huck knife. This is the board I ride most often. It's great in the park, great outside the park also for doing, buttery tricks, hitting side hits, doing 180s. The thing that I like about it, it's got the twin shape, so you can ride it in either direction. If you're somebody that wants to work on your switch riding, definitely check out a twin shape board like this one. It's also got camber under my feet, so giving me lots of pop to get an ollie or a nollie up into the air. And then probably my favorite part is the reverse camber in the nose and tail. Just makes it a lot easier to press and get into butters. And yeah, it's the board I've ridden most often, probably one of my favorite boards. The next board in my quiver, guys, is something that's totally different. It's the Yes 420. I picked this one up for riding in the trees. This is a very specific board, great on floating on top of powder. It's got a big surface area, really short and fat to keep me floating on top of that snow. And the short length also just allows me to maneuver quickly through trees. One of my favorite kinds of riding is in the trees with friends, and this just allows me to sort of float ahead of everyone. And if they don't have a board like this, they quickly pick one up soon after. Lots of boards out there just like it. Definitely check out one of these sort of powder tree style boards, lots of fun. A board that I very recently added into my quiver was this Arbor Westmark rocker. This is definitely a different type of board for myself. It's a full rocker snowboard, so it makes it very friendly to butters and presses. I also took it out in the trees the other day, and this really fat and square nose and tail actually helped me to stay afloat above the powder. And even though it's a rocker shape, the real wood sort of top sheet here helped to add some snap and pop to this board. So anytime I went to, ollie or pop off of a pillow, I could really feel the flex of this board, and the stiffness in that real wood just helped me to, get some height. And yeah, I think this is gonna be the board that I go to for having some fun with butters. Those are a few of the boards that are currently in our quivers. There are definitely some boards that we want to add to it. Andreas, man, what's the next board you're going to add into your quiver collection?
I was thinking about this Burton Deep Thinker because this is one of my best of tests last season. I found that it was just a wicked quiver killer. It rocks an awesome turn when you're on hard pack. It really carves hard. And then when you're in the deeper snow, because it's got that S rocker shape, that front shovel just really floats you out of the deeper stuff. This is Danny Davis's sort of dream child. It's his all mountain quiver killer. It does a little bit of everything. You can see that it's got that minimalistic top sheet with the Gons graphic, and on the back it's got the fish skeleton. He's been riding park with this, he's been riding powder with this. It's a great do everything, nice and medium flexing. You can still load a crazy huge ollie off of this thing. A little bit of taper so that it floats really well in the deeper snow.
Jamie, what's the next board on your list?
Yeah, so you guys might have seen this one before. It's the Jones Storm Chaser. Chris brought this from the shop earlier this year, and it looks like he's had a lot of fun on it. I'm yet to get some days on this one, but I thought I'd expand my quiver range to accommodate a little bit more of a powder board, and this is about as powder board as you can get. You got the spoon shape on it, great for tree runs, great for just any day that's 30 centimeters plus. Or even 20 centimeters plus. I'm not going to be picky. It's a great board. Some of the proceeds go towards foundations like 1% for the planet, protect our winners. So I mentioned this board is a full-on power board. I'm looking to take it into some nice deep powder days in the trees, have some good fun on it. It's got that real tapered shape to it. Big swallowtail to help the tail sink in that snow. Big nose. It's got that spoon tech as well. Should be a lot of fun on those deep powder days.
The next board I'm very close to adding to my own personal quiver collection of snowboards is the T-Rise Pro by LibTech. You guys saw me ride this board in the carving sessions video. The magnet traction on this board really helped me to grip the snow through each carve. Even over the hardest packed ice, I felt that this just totally gripped. I didn't actually slide out once. Something that's been missing from my quiver has been like an all-mountain carver, and because of the magnet traction and just the overall shape of this board, I really feel like this is the one for me. From that carving day, really feel like this is gonna be the next board I add to my collection. Yeah guys, so I got this in the mail just this morning. It's a no bad day board. I can see it through the plastic, but we'll give it a quick open, see which model it is and how it fits into the quiver. It's like peeling a banana. Wow, check this out guys. So this is the No Bad Day Max Pro model. I don't know if you guys seen Max Perot in the Dew Tour, but he's into riding fast, hitting really large jumps. This is a full camber snowboard, which is something that I don't currently have in my quiver. So to have a full camber board is gonna give me a lot of stability, riding at high speeds, hitting really large jumps, and I think stability and aggressiveness is gonna be this board's strength. Something that I'm not used to riding, a board this aggressive, but maybe I'll get used to it. Stoked on this board, probably gonna ride it tomorrow in the park and test it out on some jumps. So those are our quiver setups. For myself, for years tried to stick with one board, and then when I started trying some different ones like the S420, it really kind of like opened my eyes and then inspired me too to try lots of different boards. And the more boards I try, it definitely gets addictive, and it's just a lot of fun discovering all those different shapes and cool designs out there in snowboarding now. So definitely try some different boards, get creative with it, and see what inspires you.
Ultimately, the thing that I think that you want to make sure you have is a board that's good for powder and a board that's good for hardpack. You know, the days where there's no snow, you want something that's shorter, easier to maneuver and throw around. And on the days where there's knee-deep snow, you want that board that's tapered, that has a really big front shovel to it so that you can float. You know, those are the boards that are gonna work really well when you're in trees or when you're in that powder stuff, you know.
Further to what Andreas said, I think it's important to expand on the type of riding that you like to do, whether it's power, whether it's park. There's always other boards to try, different flexes, different camber profiles. And it's really good to explore different boards, see what works for you, and then start building a quiver of your own.
I hope this video will help you guys start to build your quivers. If you guys have any questions for us, please leave them down below. Thanks a lot to Jamie and Andreas for helping out with this video. It'd also be great to hear from you guys what's in your quiver or what boards that you're hoping to try out. Thanks a lot for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next video.
When you're riding this snowboard, you will become a god amongst men. Those who seek snowboarding will bow down before you to ride or to see you ride this apocalyptic snow
steed.